Chosen one, you are not reading this by chance. This is not a moment of casual scrolling or spiritual curiosity. This is a divine interruption. A heavenly summons has been issued, and it carries the weight of eternity. You have been located by the voice of destiny. Tuesday, the 10th of June, is not merely a date. It is the strike of prophetic thunder across the silence of your timeline. It is not just the beginning of another week. It is a spiritual rupture in the atmosphere. It is the day the veil tears, the day your hidden identity is exposed to heaven and earth alike. The day of stepping over has arrived, and it demands your full attention. Before you even knew to ask for confirmation, the 10th of June was already circled in the scrolls of heaven, etched into the blueprints of your assignment. This is not encouragement. It is an official declaration of spiritual shift. You are not at the mercy of delays anymore. What you thought was denial was actually divine restraint. The delay did not mean you were overlooked. It meant you were too important to be released prematurely. What God is about to place in your hands required the full formation of your spirit. And now, at the threshold of this sacred hour, the spiritual gates are not only opening, they are trembling. This moment is not symbolic. It is seismic. Heaven has issued a prophetic breach in time itself. The 10th of June is not a motivational checkpoint. It is a line drawn in eternity. It separates your past of unseen obedience from your future of undeniable fulfillment. What once seemed far off is now standing in front of you. What was concealed by pain is now revealed through purpose. You are not stepping into another season. You are stepping into spiritual collision with the timing of God, the calling on your life, and the judgment of every opposing spirit that dared to stand in your way. Let every fear go silent. Let every excuse fall to the floor. This is not the time to hesitate. This is the hour to step forward, like the warrior you were born to be. The frequency of heaven is resounding through your bones now. It is not imagination. It is not emotional hype. Your spirit recognizes what your logic cannot comprehend. The divine synchronization you have longed for is now. The code has been activated. The timing is real. This is not favor arriving. It is favor colliding with the evidence of your surrender. Chosen one. This is not about you alone. This is about blood. This is about the ancestral cries that echo in your bloodstream. You were not created by coincidence. You were launched by legacy. You are not a result of random faith. You are the product of ancient prayers. The pain you carry is generational, and so is the power. You were never meant to blend in with the world around you. You were sent as a disruptor, as a deliverer, as a divine fracture point in a cursed family line. Every battle you fought has been ancestral warfare. Every delay has been a confrontation with darkness that feared your arrival. The chains you're breaking didn't begin with you, but they will end with you. You were not born simply to survive. You were born to be the sentence that ends spiritual captivity. The enemy has thrown everything at you because he knows once you step over, others will follow. You are the breach in the wall, the fire in the lineage, the answer to the groans of generations. The mantle on your life is not ornamental, it is military. You are not carrying inspiration. You are carrying holy ignition. You were born in the fire to release the flame. And every ounce of opposition, every night of silence, every demonic assignment sent to wear you down, it was not random. It was strategic, because the darkness knows your name, but so does heaven. And the 10th of June is the day both realms watch you rise. If this message pierced your spirit, do not scroll past it like it's another moment. Type 77 in the comments as your covenant, your yes to the weight of this call. Not just to the blessing, but to the battle that comes with carrying divine fire into a dark world. This is your agreement with heaven. You are stepping into an appointment, not a suggestion. Chosen one, you are not just part of a story. You are the turning point of it. The curse-breaking one, the bloodline restorer. You are not allowed to think small anymore, not because of pride, but because the mantle on your life is too massive. You were set apart to see differently, feel more deeply, and hunger for things most people avoid. You were not designed for safety. You were created for spiritual confrontation. That ache in your spirit, that's not anxiety. That's ancestral fire awakening in your bones. And now on Tuesday, the 10th of June, what was sealed in the mind of God before time began is now erupting into the visible. This is not symbolic. This is surgical. Heaven is cutting through every illusion of delay and severing the final thread of the waiting season. Something irreversible is activating in the soil of your life. C.S. Lewis wrote, "There are no ordinary people. You have never talked to a mere mortal." This is not just poetry, it is prophecy. You are not walking among the average. You were sent as a divine anomaly, camouflaged in human flesh, but burning with eternal assignment. You are not merely sensitive. You are spiritually encoded. Your emotions are not weakness. They are radar. The war you've been feeling is confirmation that your presence threatens darkness in ways your words haven't even touched yet. This is not just about your breakthrough. This is about justice. You are restoring stolen years. You are rerouting what was once derailed. You are picking up where others laid it down. What was once surrendered to fear is now resurrected by your faith. The heavens are not casually watching you. They are recording you. Your obedience is now historical. The story that failed to finish in previous generations has found its ending in your courage. This is not just another Tuesday. This is not just the start of another mundane week. This is the day of stepping over. The line between who you were and who you were always meant to become has been drawn, and now God is demanding motion. You are not being invited to step in. You are being summoned to step over. What once seemed distant is now irreversible. What once felt delayed is now breaking loose like a dam under divine pressure. The 10th of June is not a date. It is a rupture, a breach in the atmosphere, a moment heaven has orchestrated with military precision. The angels assigned to your next have been activated. The spiritual terrain has shifted. Resistance has been overthrown. Strongholds are shaking. God has spoken, and what was once impossible is now irreversible. On this day, you do not bring old burdens with you. That weight is not legal here. The trauma you've been dragging ends here. You are stepping into holy territory, a place where legacy begins and warfare ends, a realm where supply chases surrender and divine flow replaces human force. You will not need to beg anymore. What you carried in secret will now be confirmed in public. This moment will be marked in the heavens. The earth will respond. And you, chosen one, will remember the 10th of June as the day where the narrative shattered, the ceiling broke, and the wind of God met you at the exact edge of your obedience. The very air is shifting. What was once fighting you will now flee from you. Doors you never knocked on will swing open. Conversations you never started will chase you down. Not because you manipulated it, but because heaven decreed it. And this is what it looks like when a chosen one stops shrinking and steps into divine magnitude. You are not hoping anymore. You are advancing. You are not wondering anymore. You are walking in prophecy. You are not guessing anymore. You are receiving divine clearance. Chosen one, this is no longer just your day. It is your divine appointment, summoned by heaven and acknowledged by the earth. Tuesday, the 10th of June, has not come to inspire you. It has come to unleash you. The day of stepping over has not arrived passively. It has arrived in fire. Understand this. Not all doors are moved by effort. Some doors, especially the ones that guard sacred inheritance, respond only to frequency. You cannot fake this shift, and you haven't. You, chosen one, have risen out of the vibration of panic into the resonance of surrender. You've crossed a line internally before it ever showed up externally. And that is why the gates are opening now, not because of volume, but because of alignment. You didn't beg your way here. You aligned your way here. You have transitioned from survival noise to spiritual signal, from trying to force outcomes to trusting in divine unfolding. You've stopped chasing and started resonating. That is the real breakthrough. You were not given a breakthrough because you worked harder. You were transformed because your soul finally said yes to God's rhythm. C.S. Lewis once wrote, "We are not sent into the world to make impressions on it, but to be impressed by God." You are no longer striving to impact the world. You are being shaped by the hand of God. This is the frequency shift. This is the stillness that now magnetizes miracles. What once felt like delay was actually divine insulation, preparing you for an outpouring that could not come until you were no longer chasing it from desperation but standing in surrender. Heaven has always heard your voice, but now heaven hears your tone, and it has changed. You no longer echo lack. You echo certainty. You no longer vibrate confusion. You vibrate covenant. You don't need to announce your faith anymore. It's in your presence, and that presence has become your key. The realm you're about to walk into does not respond to desperation. It only opens to agreement. There are blessings that ignore striving. There are realms that remain sealed until your internal stillness registers readiness. And readiness does not scream. It does not panic. It whispers, "I know. I am aligned. I am anchored." And that frequency, silent but seismic, is now echoing through the spiritual corridors of heaven. That's what has released the shift. That's what has activated the delivery. Everything assigned to you is now being pulled by your frequency. The people, the resources, the assignments, they're not arriving because of your effort, but because of your resonance. You've become a divine magnet. Your stillness is a signal. Your surrender is a beacon. And the heavens are responding with acceleration. This is why the pace is about to quicken, not by your hustle but by divine rhythm. Miracles will no longer be moments. They will come in patterns. Sudden opportunities will chase you. Prayers that once seemed forgotten will appear without warning. You are now in alignment with what has always been yours, but now you're finally strong enough, ready enough, still enough to carry it. You were never invisible to God. Never an afterthought. The silence you endured was strategic covering. The hiddenness was not abandonment, it was protection. You were preserved for this hour. Heaven did not reject you. Heaven guarded you. And now the unveiling is happening not because the world is ready for you, but because you are finally ready for the world. You questioned whether you missed your moment. You grieved over whether your prayers expired, but heaven never lost track. Your cries were not dismissed, they were stored, and the seal on those stored prayers is breaking now. This is not coincidence. This is not emotional timing. This is prophetic fulfillment. Tuesday, the 10th of June, is not another day. It is the activation point. The vault of heaven is opening, and the very things you mourned over, wept for, and almost walked away from are now being released into your life with frightening accuracy. This is not a vague encouragement. This is the divine delivery of what was always yours. Understand this deeply. God does not operate on human clocks. He operates by fulfillment. He doesn't rush to soothe impatience, nor delay to punish longing. He moves when your soul is aligned with his purpose, and when your heart is strong enough to carry what's coming without it crushing you. That's why he waited. That's why he withheld certain answers until now, because now you are ready in ways you weren't before. C.S. Lewis, in his meditation on divine timing, wrote, "God whispers to us in our pleasures, speaks in our consciences, but shouts in our pains. It is his megaphone to rouse a deaf world." The problem of pain. This insight reveals the purpose of your waiting season. The silence and delays were God's megaphone shouting through your longing to prepare you for this appointed unveiling. Lewis's words, resonating with your past interest in spiritual awakening and divine signs, affirm that your readiness has triggered heaven's perfect timing. All this time God was not silent. he was precise. Not absent, he was intentional. Every step, every detour, every long night of confusion was a divine blueprint unfolding. And now that blueprint is about to become visible. The questions you carried in your spirit will meet answers, not in words, but in tangible, undeniable outcomes. Open doors, clear paths, divine alignments, all timed to this very season. So, release the lie that you were passed over. Dismiss the fear that you missed your moment. Your moment wasn't missed, it was being prepared. It was set aside and protected until you could carry it with authority. And now heaven is declaring, the time is now. The scheduled moment has arrived. You didn't miss it. You're right on time. Chosen one, your name is on the scroll, and the scroll has been unsealed. Step forward. Your appointment is being called. You are not just stepping into a new day, you are stepping into an entirely new month marked by divine outpouring. June is not just a segment of time. It is a spiritual container, overflowing with what heaven has reserved for you. This month carries the fragrance of fulfillment, the rhythm of release, and the atmosphere of acceleration. What was once scattered is now gathering. What was once withheld is now pouring. This is a month of overflow. Not trickles, not fragments, but streams. Divine resources are aligning with your needs. Spiritual clarity is aligning with your questions. Emotional peace is aligning with your inner turbulence. This month is not about surviving from moment to moment. It is about flowing from miracle to miracle. And it begins now. You are moving into a time where the things you once prayed for now start appearing without effort. What used to feel locked away now feels like it's chasing you. That is because divine outpouring is not something you force. It's something you come into alignment with. And that alignment has already happened inside you. Your posture has shifted. Your atmosphere has matured. Your heart is no longer desperate. It is discerning. And God responds to discernment. This is why you must be expectant, not passive. Stay alert. Stay open. The way it comes may not look like what you expected, but it will feel right. It will carry peace. It will bear fruit. The divine outpouring of June will not arrive in chaos. It will arrive clothed in clarity. You will feel the difference. You will know this is heaven. There is no more delay. There is no more denial. The heavens are open, and this month the evidence will begin to show. Others will see it too, not because you prove it, but because the fruit will speak for itself. Chosen one, get ready to receive at a level you've never received before. This month will not just bless you, it will overflow through you. Others connected to you will benefit from the rain that falls on your life. This is the month of divine outpouring. Open your hands, open your spirit. The rain has already begun. Tuesday, the 10th of June, is not the conclusion, it is the ignition. It is not the closing of a chapter, it is the detonation point. After this day, reality will begin to reconfigure itself around your calling. There will be no return to what was. You will not fit into old cycles. You will feel the vibration of momentum pulsing beneath your feet. What was once frozen will begin to shatter. What was once blurred will snap into painful clarity. What once resisted you will now bow, not because it suddenly approves of you, but because heaven has authorized your movement. Don't expect loud explosions. Expect surgical shifts, tiny cracks in the system, a silence that suddenly feels full, a delayed email that now opens a door, a voice from your past that returns without warning. A dead idea that rises with a pulse. These are not coincidences. These are echoes, shockwaves from the divine stone that dropped in your timeline. And the 10th of June is the drop, a drop that will ripple for years. You will find yourself whispering, "I can't explain this, but something just changed." That's not intuition, that's spiritual confirmation. Trust that it won't always come with lightning and fire. Sometimes it comes with peace so sharp it slices through confusion. Peace that interrupts the noise. That is your compass now. Follow it with reverence. Follow it like a soldier obeys a trumpet. Do not allow old voices to reattach themselves to your new rhythm. When elevation begins, distractions will disguise themselves as loyalty. But anything that pulls you backward in this hour is working against heaven's command. The moment has shifted. You have already stepped over. You cannot re-enter the room. God has already exited. After the 10th of June, doors will not just open, they will submit. One after another, systems will bend. Patterns will collapse. Favor will cluster around you in ways that defy logic. And you won't have to announce your value. You will carry it. You won't need to strive for attention. Your anointing will make the room respond before you speak. You've crossed a spiritual boundary, and now the realm is responding to the new frequency you carry. You will feel it. The internal lightness, the spiritual precision, the strength you thought you lost, suddenly returning, refined. You will realize that the burden hasn't disappeared, it just no longer defines you. You have caught up to your prophecy. You have arrived in the current that has always been flowing beneath your feet, waiting for your surrender. There is no more forcing. There is no more figuring it out. There is only flow, and you are in it now. What happens after the 10th of June? Acceleration, alignment, access. You won't need to chase miracles, they will locate you. You will not have to claw for what's yours. It will arrive with timing. So, divine, the only response required is yes. This is not a window that threatens to close. This is a door that remains open as long as your spirit remains bowed. You were not hidden because you were invisible. You were hidden because you were dangerous, too holy to be released into unprepared hands, too costly to be mishandled by systems that could not carry your oil. You were not passed over. You were guarded. And now the veil is being lifted not to expose you to the world, but to reveal what the world could not prepare for. The hiding was divine strategy. It wasn't silence, it was surveillance. God was watching, measuring, molding. And now he speaks. Reveal the one I have prepared. What emerges from this unveiling is not performance, it is presence. Not talent, but oil crushed from agony. Not inspiration, but authority that survived the furnace. You carry the residue of night seasons and secret altars. The weight on your life is not personality, it is the aftermath of divine pressure. And now that pressure has birthed power, the light that refused to die in the dark is now about to blaze in public. People will begin to see you differently. Some won't recognize you at all. Not because you've changed your appearance, but because your presence has shifted. You carry something now that cannot be explained, only experienced. You no longer enter rooms seeking permission, you carry permission. You no longer wait to be validated, you have already been approved by heaven. This revelation will not require noise. You won't have to announce yourself. The fruit of your life will do the talking. The authority in your voice will shift atmospheres. Your walk alone will testify to what God has done in secret, and those who once overlooked you will be forced to watch what heaven exalts, not out of revenge, but as evidence that when God hides someone, it is never to diminish them, it is to elevate them in due time. Be ready. The light is turning toward you now. You are stepping into visibility not for vanity, but for victory. Your testimony will unlock others. Your emergence will inspire the hidden ones still waiting, and your obedience in the dark will now shine like a beacon in the light. Chosen one, you are not rising for applause. You are rising for assignment. This is the revelation of the hidden one, and the world is about to witness what heaven has long prepared. This is not just a blessing. This is a divine chain reaction. What begins now will not stop. What opens today will unlock more than one door. You are not receiving a single breakthrough. You are activating a sequence of miracles, each connected to the next. This is not addition. This is multiplication. This is not seasonal favor. It is sustained flow. The heavens are not just delivering, you have stepped into a divine current. One answered prayer will lead to another. One yes will birth 5 more. One shift will realign everything. That's how the kingdom works when momentum is ordained. It doesn't trickle, it floods. What used to take years will now happen in days. Why? Because delay has been lifted, because resistance has broken, because spiritual gates have fallen, and the space around your life is now fertile for movement, favor, and manifestation. Expect quick turnarounds. Expect cascading moments. Expect the kind of overflow that forces you to stretch not out of strain but out of necessity. Your capacity is growing because your calling is expanding. You are no longer waiting for doors to open. You are walking into halls lined with doors that open at your approach, doors that were waiting for your maturity to match your mandate. This is not a one-time event. This is the beginning of a divine pattern. You will begin to notice a new rhythm in your life, a rhythm of ease, a rhythm of favor, a rhythm that makes sense only in heaven's language. Don't try to slow it down to fit logic. Don't shrink it to fit past patterns. This is not the old cycle repeated. This is a holy disruption, heaven's acceleration released through your obedience. Others will look at your life and say, "How did it happen so fast?" But they won't see the years you prayed in silence, the nights you wept alone, the seeds you sowed in secret. God saw, and God decided that the harvest would not arrive in parts, but in waves. This is the flood. This is the chain reaction. This is the moment where you don't just receive, you become the evidence of what divine alignment can produce. So don't brace yourself for a blessing. Prepare for a chain reaction. The first domino has already fallen, and now nothing can stop what heaven has set in motion. Heaven has spoken. The shift is here. And now, chosen one, the moment arrives where the divine meets your decision. You are not just being informed, you are being invited. This is a sacred invitation to respond. This is not about striving, performing, or proving. This is about agreeing. Heaven is asking for your yes. Not your perfection, not your plan, just your posture of surrender. You've heard the call. You've felt the resonance. You've seen the signs. Now the next step is not complicated. It is holy. It is to step forward, not with fear, but with faith. Not with control, but with trust. God is not asking you to figure out the details. He's asking you to remain available. The pathway will unfold, but only to the ones who walk. This invitation is not passive. It requires movement, not always physical, but spiritual. A shift in your heart, a release in your hands, a yes from your soul. Let today be the day you say it out loud. I receive. I agree. I step into alignment. This is not emotion. It is activation. This is not hype. It is holy ground. Don't wait for more evidence. You already feel it. That stirring inside you is your confirmation. The time for hesitation has passed. The door is open. The scroll is unsealed. Heaven is watching. Earth is ready. Your future is leaning in.